So we have already seen the logical operator and all other things. Yes. And we have already discussed about storage type or not. Storage classes. Yes.
No, sir.
Not discussed.
No, sir.
And this structured program summary has already discussed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Still there.
Okay. So let us discuss with storage
Yes, sir.
class. Okay. So what are the storage classes? Storage classes are used to describe the features of a variable or function. Actually, if a variable is there, like integer I, j, or k, okay, this variable, like suppose this is of kind integer and its name is a. Okay, so how this variable will be accessed? Fine, and from this variable will be available to use. Okay, sometimes what happen? You can declare variable outside the main integer a, okay, and integer main. So outside declaration is also possible. So variable is visible from this place, but it can be used from this. Yes or no? Okay. So storage classes are used to describe the features of a variable. These features basically include scope. So this is the scope. Although this variable is visible from here and its life cycle started from here to here, but it is only available to use from this place. Fine. Scope, visibility, and lifetime, which help us to trace the existence of particular variable during the runtime of a program. Okay. So how do we run the program and what is the existence of this variable? A storage class represents the visibility of a location, a visibility and location of a variable. It tells from what part of code we can access a variable. A storage class is used to describe these things, the variable scope. Variable scope, I had already explained that this is our variable scope. Here to here, but its life cycle started from here to here. Okay, the location where the location I will show you. There are different locations. Actually, 4 locations are there. Code data segment, stack segment, and extra segment. Okay, these are the memory location. Above all, register is also there in C storage class. So we are not going to store anything in code segment related with data and anything with extra segment. Okay, because this extra segment is to store string. This is to store code. Now only we store data and stack segment. So it will come in next slide. Okay, this we will use and this we will use. The initialized value of a variable. So initially, whenever I had not initialized any value, then what will be the default value? Okay, and the lifetime of a variable, and who can access the variable. So these many information is related with the storage class will be provided by the compiler. Now let us see. So storage class is used to represent information about a variable. A variable is not only associated with data type, its value, but also storage class. Okay. So what are the storage class? By default, the storage class is auto. By default, the storage class is auto. Okay. If you simply declare integer, then it comes under auto class. Fine. There are total 4 types of standard storage class. This table shows auto. Auto stores at stack. I had explained that there are 4 segments: code segment, data segment, stack segment, and extra segment. So code segment is associated with code. Extra segment is associated with string. Now auto will be stored at stack segment. Okay. Auto will be stored at stack segment While if you are talking about static and external and static variable, static and external, okay, static and external both are stored at data segment. Fine, both are stored at data segment. So this is our data segment, and in data segment we are storing static and external. So what is the difference between static and external? Before going to discuss all these things, let us see about auto. Auto class uses stack segment. Initial value of auto class is garbage. It means whenever I am declaring integer a and going to printf %d a, then it will show me some garbage value. Okay, it will show me some garbage value. It will display me some garbage value. Now, scope is within the block. Auto variable, its scope is within the block. We will see in example later on. And the life cycle is, it is started from this block to this block and it will end here only. Now come to extern. Extern is declared before main, like here. Okay, this is our external variable, and it is stored at data segment. Its initial value is 0 by default, and its scope is global and across the multiple files. Across the multiple file means you can declare here and you can use here. Okay, you can declare here and you can use here. So this is a global scope. Now come to up to what time this data is its life. Okay, so it is declared somewhere in this file, and suppose this uses main file. So here it will terminate. Means from here to here, this will be the life cycle. Till the end of program is the life cycle. And now come to static variable. Static variable is stored at data segment and its initial value is also 0 and its scope is within the block and its life cycle is the till end of the program. What is the difference between static variable and all other variable? Extern is declared outside the main. Okay, and it can be used inside the main. But the static variable is the kind of variable where you put the value, some values, okay, like 2 is there. And if you are using static value and if you are going to use a function call, its value remain 2. And after this function call, suppose its value is 3, now its value will be 3. Okay, so it value does not change. Does not change means it will not start always from 0. It will start from whatever value we have left in this programming iteration. Now come to register variable. So register and auto are the same thing. Only difference is that register variable uses the CPU register. Okay, there are varieties of CPU registers available, but very less in number. So we use the CPU register for fastest execution of a program. And its initial value, like auto variable, its initial value is garbage and its scope is also within the block, same to same. Whatever things are there with auto, it is applicable to register. Only exception is that its address you can't find because it is executed in register and its scope is end of the block. And like you can see that this is our CPU and there are number of registers. Okay, and this is our cache memory. So you can use any register using this register keyword. So you can see that our storage class auto, it is default storage class. If you are not declare anything, it means you are declaring auto storage class. The next one, it is a global variable. Static, it is local variable, which is capable of carrying a value even when control is transferred to function call. Means it retain the value. Okay, it retain the value. It holds the value till the end of program. And the register, it is a variable which is used inside a register. Okay, so there is no difference, no major difference between auto and register. Only exception is that you cannot use pointer with register. Now come to auto. Here you can see that this is a program. This is a program written for auto variable. Fine. So what is this? This is default storage class for all the variables declared inside a function or block. The keyword auto is rarely used while writing programs in C. Fine. Auto variable can be only accessed within the block. They have been declared and not outside them. Of course, these can be accessed within nested block within the parent block or function in which auto variable was declared. So here you can see that this is our innermost outer auto variable. Okay, so this is our innermost auto. Now this is external auto.
Sir,
Yes.
so again, yes, sir.
Your voice is not audible. Just try to say once again.
कि बार बार ड्रॉप हो रहा था और मैंने अभी ज्वाइन किया है सर तो सर
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, आप रिवीजन क्लास में कर लेना, ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं। ये वेरिएबल स्टोरेज क्लास है और इसको मैं एक बार और मैं इसलिए मैंने आज ये बोला था इन लोगों से कि भाई आज एक्सरसाइज रखते हैं इंस्टीड ऑफ टेकिंग क्लास, है ना, क्योंकि आज बहुत लोगों का इंटरनेट का प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है। ओके,
यस
so yes, so just for your knowledge I will explain, even मैं भी जो है 10 मिनट लेट ज्वाइन कर पाया, है ना, so आप ही अकेले नहीं हो, फाइन। So हाँ, so let me explain once again. We have storage classes, storage class, auto, extern, static and register. Okay, so there are scope of these storage class. Actually integer itself is not sufficient. You can use these keywords also with integer, float or whatever you want to use. So yes, so its scope is actually I need a lot of things. Just try to read out this, okay? Then ask the question, then I will explain. Because I cannot directly explain auto variable. Just read out. हेलो हेलो, हाँ बोल रहा हूँ। जब देखो बेटा, जब कोई ना क्लास, अब जब आप कॉलेज में पहुंच गए, जब कोई आपका फोन ना उठाए तो ये समझ लेना कि सामने वाला क्लास ले रहा होगा, ठीक है, सामने वाला कस्टमर नहीं है, ठीक है, तो थोड़ा सा वेट कर सकते हो 1 घंटे या मैसेज छोड़ सकते हो। मैसेज नहीं देखा है इसका मतलब भी यही है कि सामने वाला क्लास ले रहा है ना। थोड़ा सा याद रखो, मतलब ऐसा समझो कि सामने वाला कस्टमर केयर एग्जीक्यूटिव नहीं है कि वो आपकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेगा क्लास के बीच में। महिमा रीड आउट कर लिया आपने?
Sir, screen is not visible. Though, sir, I'm connecting again and again.
तो आपको बताना चाहिए ना कि स्क्रीन विजिबल नहीं है।
No, sir, अभी हो गई थी, फिर वो फिर गायब हो गई थी, सर।
अब दिख रही है?
हाँ, yes, sir, अब दिख रही है।
Okay, so just try to read out all these things, okay?
Okay,
And
sir.
just ask what is the, yes.
Okay, sir.
So let me explain once again better. It is much better to explain once again all these things. Okay. So this will be the so is this screen visible to all of you? Okay. So we have data types. Fine. And in these data types, integer, float, character, etc. are there. Fine. And these data types are they are belonging to particular storage class. Okay. Storage class. By they are by default they are auto. So let us see what is the different storage class. So storage class is directly or indirectly associated with memory. Okay. And what kind of memory is available? So there are different segments of memory. Different segments means we have 4 different segments of memory. These segments are code data segment, stack segment, and extra segment. Fine. This code segment is associated with coding, code part. Data segment is our data and what kind of data we want to use. Stack segment is also associated with data. Okay. And this is also associated with data, but a string or some other activities. Okay. So, and above all these things, we are also in concept of registers. CPU registers are available. Okay. So here also you can use the data, not store the data. You can temporarily store the data. So these storage classes are used to describe features of a variable or a function. Why function? Variable, okay, we know that variable having this data type, but functions too have these many data types. Fine, they are returning like integer main will return integer value. That's why variable or function is written. These features basically include the scope. What are the things? Scope, visibility, and lifetime. What is the lifetime? Fine. So, which help us to trace the existence of a particular variable, existence of a particular. Yes. Fine. During the runtime of a program. During the runtime of a program. Now, a storage class represents the visibility and location of a variable. It also tells us about location where it will be stored. So कौन सी लोकेशन मैंने आपको बताई है? एक बताया है डेटा सेगमेंट, दूसरा बताया स्टैक सेगमेंट और तीसरा बताया रजिस्टर. Fine. Then so it represents the visibility and location. So what is the visibility? So let me explain the concept of visibility. Not explain. I will explain later on. It tells from what part of code we can access a variable. A storage class is used to describe these things. Variable scope. Location where the variable will be stored, whether it is stored at data segment, stack segment, or register. Okay. So this is the location. The initial value. Okay. If this variable is there, so what will be the initial value? So there are two different initial values. Either it is initialized to 0 or some garbage value. Fine. Now, the lifetime of a variable. Lifetime of a variable means from where it will started its visibility. Okay. And when this variable will be terminated. Who can access the variable? Who can access the variable means like who are the user? Those means sometimes what happen, we are storing the file for different privileges. So that's why this user privileges, who can user privileges. Fine. Now come to, so the storage class is used to represent the information about a variable. A variable is not only associated with data type, but its value, but also associated with storage class. Means now variable is there. It is associated with data type. Okay, its value, and now storage class. If we are not writing anything, it will automatically become automatic storage class. There are total 4 types of standard storage class that this table represents different storage classes. So this is our storage specifier, storage, initial value, scope, and life. Auto. Let me draw 3 things. This is data segment. This is stack segment, and code segment, data segment, stack segment, and extra segment actually. And inside this CPU, we have registers. Okay. So stack segment, auto, data segment, and the same data segment is used static. Okay. So this is not very clear picture. This does not give you a very clear picture. So let me write, interchange the data segment and stack segment. Here I am writing stack segment, here code segment, data segment. This is part of memory actually. So stack segment here, data segment with extern, data segment with static, and CPU registers with this. Okay. Why I had not plotted here? Because CPU is different entity and this is our main memory or RAM. This is our CPU registers. Fine. So what is the storage? Storage is stack segment and initial values, and the scope is in the block, and life cycle is end of the block. So this is within the block and this is end of the block. Fine. Now come to extern. Data segment. Extern is stored at a data segment and its initial value is 0 or default value is 0. And it can be accessible through multiple files. Okay, it is declared here, but it can use here and it can also access here. Static, once the variable is declared, it retains its value. Okay, whenever it is modified, it retains its value. It does not reset to 0, but its initial value is 0 and its scope is within the block. Only outside the block variable is external within the block. Okay. And this till end of the program. Its lifetime is till end of the program. Its lifetime is like auto variable and register variable is for particular block, but it is up to the end of program. Then come to static. Static is done. Register. CPU registers are there. Okay. The data is stored at CPU register. Its initial value is garbage. Both are similar. Only exception is that it is stored at CPU register. Its scope is also within block and its life cycle is also up to end of the block. Why we are using register then? Why we are not using auto? So because in uh, previous time or in traditional time or in old time when computer was invented, so each and everything is stored in secondary memory. If we are using in secondary memory and then come it to bring it to primary memory and after that it to cache memory, it takes a lot of time. So better to store all these variable, better to send all these variable to register variable, then its speed automatically increase. So faster execution is the main reason behind register type of storage class. Okay. So here you can see that storage class and its purpose. Auto, it is default storage class. Extern, it is global variable. And static, it is local variable, which is capable of returning a value, even retaining a variable. Retaining a value. Okay. Means initially it's 0. After some step, it is 3. After some step, it will be 5. After some step, it will be 7. Okay. So its visibility is within the block, but it is available till end of the program. So I will show you what is the meaning of this. Then register, it is a variable which is stored inside a register, and register is available at CPU. So inside, if it is inside CPU, then what will be the speed? It is tremendously fast. Okay. Now come to auto variable. This is default storage class for all the variables declared inside a function or block. Hence the keyword auto is rarely used while writing program in C. So no one is using auto class, but if you are using auto, then there is no harm. Auto variable can be only accessed within the block function being declared and not outside them. Of course, these can be accessed within the nested block, within the parent block function in which the auto variable was declared. I will explain. However, they can be accessed outside their scope as well using the concept of pointers. If you want to use outside this, then pointers are required. So I'm not interested to tell you pointers this time because already we are not in advanced stage of this programming language. Given here by pointing to the very exact memory location where the variable reside. There are assigned garbage value by default whenever they are declared. Okay, so just see this block. Let me plot the block with highlighter. This is our block, one block. Okay, this is our another block. And this one is another block. Fine. And this is end of main program. And this is beginning of main program. Now you can see what is the sequence of execution now. Are you able to imagine what is the sequence of execution? It will execute this. Why this? Because stack organization says that whatever inserted first will extracted last. Okay, like in chapati, if you are cooking chapati, so first chapati will be reside here, then second chapati here, third will be here, fourth will be here, and last one will be here. If you are accessing Chapati, you are not directly able to access this. Okay, you access first this, fine, then this, then this. So this is known as last in first out organization, LIFO, last in first out. So likewise, the execution of this program. Okay, now you can see that if I am not writing integer j equals to 3, if I cut this, okay, so it will access 2. The value will be printed here will be 2. Okay, now let me rub this. Now come to another thing. If this variable is also not given and this is also not given, then the printout due to this to 1, okay, it will print 1 and it will also print 1, fine. And so here it is very simple to imagine that what will be printed, there is no problem. And now suppose I had declared this I, okay, and I had cut this. Although this is declared at this line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can say that if the in fourth number this is declared, then why it is not accessible here? Because it is scoped for this particular auto integer is scoped for this curly brace. Okay, up to this place to means this is the curly brace. So this is inner curly brace and this is outer curly brace. So up to this we can access j equals to 2, but we cannot access beyond this. That is why it will print an error message if I am not declaring this variable. Okay, so to recover from this error, we need to declare this. Now, if so it is now very clear to you what is the scoping, auto scoping. Okay, so this variable is available from here. This variable is available from here, and its scope is inside this block. So this green variable is only available for this place. Now, if I'm talking about red variable, so red variables scope, although the name is name is similar, but the scope is very limited. This is j equals to 3, and this is j equals to 2, and the last one is the last scope is the final scope is j equals to 1. Okay, and the output is this will be printed first. So it will give you 3. One space, next space, then 3, and then /t. /t will tab the character, and after that this green will be printed, means 2, and then new line will be no new line. Again %d is there, one space, and after that %d j. So value of j is 1. So this is the output. Okay, any doubt related with this output? Yes.
No, sir.
So I think it is sufficient for today. Okay, because Wagi Sani is also in trouble today. Internet बहुत drop हो रहा है. I am unable to join. Okay, Pratma Aditya, you are from Jaipur, na? Okay, I think nobody is able to hear the things. So let me stop this class here.
Okay.
Fine. And let us download your attendance list. Any doubt, Mahima? Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. ऑटो वाला थोड़ा सा क्लियर हुआ सर.
ओके, बाकी की स्टोरेज क्लास हम नेक्स्ट क्लास जो भी होगी उसमें देख लेंगे. ठीक है.
हाँ, ओके सर. ओके.
Okay, so let me stop here. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.